天心直送魂よ。
みんながそばにいてくれるわ。
これが運命です。立った。
So what's up guys, greetings from Ayaka. So this is my first video in which I'm using my voice, so hope it's going great. So in this video I'm showcasing Ayaka since a banner is coming up very soon in the second half of the already amazing 3.5 update. She's gonna be available with Shinha and all new physical support Mika with 2 other 4-star characters. So in this video, I'll be showcasing a completely free-to-play Ayaka at around 70 to 80% damage potential. Disclaimer, it is your decision to choose who you pull for. This video is just to show what and how much a free-to-play Ayaka can do in a free-to-play account. I'm just here to show my Ayaka's damage, which might help you to decide whether to pull for her or not. So if you like my Ayaka's damage and want to support me, a sub to the channel will be amazing, and don't forget to like to keep my motivation. First, let's start with her base damage without using any buff or supports. She has passives that support herself, so her kit is really great, more on that later. Moreover, she has crit damage built in her kit, which is like the icing on a cake, and as you can see in my stats here, I have around 47 crit rate and 247 crit damage. This is quite good in my opinion for a free to play build. And since she is a cryo character, you can further increase her crit rate by giving the 4-piece of Blizzard and using the cryo resonance as well. So crit rate should not be a problem for Ayaka. You can farm for her artifacts, but I have given her the 2-piece gladiator instead, and she will be using a 4-star weapon throughout this video. Now talking about her passives, as mentioned before, as she can further increase her damage by herself, as you can see in her using E skill increase her normals and charge by 30%, and dashing to the opponent will increase her cryo damage by 18%, which we'll see up ahead in the video. As you can see, my artifacts only add up to 159% of crit damage, and the remaining is from her kit itself, which totals up to 247. Now let's try her base damage in the Pyro Resistbind. I'm not going to use any supports here just to check her base damage. I'm making sure she doesn't get any kind of buff whatsoever, and without any buff from any catalyst users or anything, just her pure raw damage. Only by health she does about 7,533 damage, which is because of her first passive and her second passive, which increases her charge attack damage and increases her cryo damage bonus, as you can see on the screen. And that bonus wears off if you cannot keep reapplying it. As you can see, it decreases to 7,000, and it can further decrease to 6,000 as both buff wears down. So don't forget to reapply it whenever possible. Now it's time for her raw elemental skill and elemental burst damage, and again I'm making sure I'm not getting any buffs from characters, as I'm using Barbara with the Chilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. I'm making sure I'm not getting the buff of the book by switching to Sucrose and going to Ayaka. We get around 20,000 from her E and 11,000 from her burst. That is just enough to take down the Resistbind. Now let's move on to the next part of the video and try to do the same attacks to the Ruin Guard. I'm only using 4-star characters to make it more free to play friendly, and everyone here is using a 4-star weapon. Bennett has the Festering Desire to keep the base attack low, as I have him in C6. I'm using Diana just to knock down the Ruin Guard in this application. Now using Diana to knock down the Ruin Guard and just for applying cryo, and switching to Sucrose as well as cryo, and using Bennett's Q and switching to Ayaka, we get around 13,000 of charge attack damage, which means we almost doubled her charge attack damage just by using 4-star free-to-play characters. Now doing the same but for her elemental burst, using the same 4-star characters and going through the same cycle, we get to see around double of the elemental burst damage, which is 21k, which is about double from what we got to see before, and not to mention her burst snapshots, which keeps her every buff that has been applied in the beginning of her Q up until the Q ends. Now, talking about her team comps, she works great in freeze teams, better if the enemy can be frozen, and you can change the characters as per your needs. Just remember to slap a Hydra support and an animal support in team comp for using freeze. Use a 5-star if you have one, and you'll be good to go. And if you want to use Dendro 2, you can use it on a fridge comp as well by using the remaining slot for the Dendro character, or you can use the Traveler instead if you don't have any other Dendro characters built. Make sure to comment down below if you want to see my Ayaka in these team comps as well. Talking about cryo characters, I don't have one specific cryo character besides all in the game. Can you guess which one is it? Now moving on to the last part of the video, let's put all of our potential on Ayaka and see what she can do. Using all my 5-star supports and using food buffs as well, let's see how much damage she can deal in the open world to the perpetual mechanical array. So as mentioned before, I'll be using food in this run, the Adeptus Temptation and the potion that increases cryo damage bonus. Now let's sit back and enjoy the showcase.
Years later.
Now that's a lot of damage!
So yeah, 74,000 per tick on the elemental burst is decent enough in my opinion. Yeah, I know I use Shene, who can increase cryo damage by a lot, but I don't have Kazuha either, so I hope you understand. I'm definitely gonna have him in the next banner, but Shene is just here for the sake of the bigger numbers. Feel free to pause the video for the stats. I'm so sorry I forgot to show my individual artifact details. Comment down if you want to see them. So I hope you like my showcase and my damage for Ayaka. This is it for this video. See you soon again.